I've started recording. So, uh, on Monday we talk about CSS, right? We just do a little introduction to CSS. So
Okay.
today we'll go deeper. So, let me see. All right, we already know what is CSS now from our normal definition last on Monday. CSS is a styling language that is used to control the layout and the appearance of the web page. Yeah. So HTML is just the structural language and CSS is a styling language. But you have to take note that HTML and CSS, they are not programming language. They are just markup language. Programming language start from JavaScript. You understand? So yeah,
Okay.
you know that HTML and CSS, they are markup language. They are used to create web pages. Then when we now talk about real programming language, start from JavaScript, Python, Laravel, PHP, React, and so on like that. So those are programming languages. So it is used to separate presentation from structure, making it easier to maintain and update website. Alright. Okay, CSS, what is CSS? The language used to styling on an HTML document. It lets you to design the font, the colors, arrange the elements, how the element will look like on the web page, and so on. Now, what CSS is used for? One, it's used for styling. Two, for layout. Three, responsiveness. Because your HTML cannot just make your website to be responsive. You need CSS to make it responsive so that people who visit your website, they can actually access it through phone. Like maybe people who visit the websites now, they have mobile phone, they not have desktop, or they not have laptop, or they not have tablet. So they use their phone to visit the website that you are creating. So you must know how to make it responsive. And for it to make it responsive, you have to make use of CSS. The animation and effect. There are some websites that you see that they have some animation. All those ones, they are being done with this thing CSS too. Maintenance and consistency. They are all works of CSS. So anatomy of CSS rule. I've talked a little bit about this on Monday. So the H1 is a selector. So maybe you are write your heading now, the first heading H1, then you want to start the H1. You pick the selector. So you should know that anything that will be outside this curly bracket will always be the selector. It's either you select it by the class name, by the element name, or by the ID name. It will always be outside the curly bracket. It will always be outside the curly bracket. Then the only thing that will be inside the curly bracket is the property and the value. That's what will be inside the curly bracket. One of the property is color, and the value is the type of color that you want to apply to your heading. Orange, yellow, purple, blue, black, white, etc. Then we also have text align. It's another property of CSS. You can decide to put your text at the center, you put it at the ending, or you put it at the beginning. So basically what I'm just trying to tell you is that your selectors, what you use to select the HTML, will always be outside the curly bracket. Then the property and the value will always be inside the curly bracket. The type of CSS. Yeah, we have different type of CSS. We have different type of CSS. Let me open my All right. So we have different type of CSS, right? We have inline CSS, we have internal CSS, and we have external CSS. If you can just get all these basic things I'm teaching you now, by the time we enter real world solution, it will be very easy for you. So that's why it is very important for you to listen at this particular at this beginning heading, the beginning, or let me say we are just building foundation now. Everything we have been doing is building foundation. It will now get to a time whereby we will now starting writing normal coding. So type of CSS we have, this type of CSS simply means how you write CSS, in what way you write them, like what pattern. Okay, no, type of CSS, how you write your CSS, how you apply your CSS to your HTML. That's what um we are trying to look at this particular session. So one of them is inline styling, two internal styling, three external styling. Now I will explain them one by one. Inline styling means that you are styling your HTML element inside the HTML element. Yeah, inside the HTML element. What do I mean by that? So this is our registration. Uh, okay, this is our registration page. The other time that we did. Let me. Okay, now I want to apply CSS now to this div, and I want to use inline styling. So if I want to use inline styling, what I'll just do is that I'll just come here inside the element to, or inside the opening tag of the element. You know, this is the opening tag, while the other one is the closing tag, right? So for inline styling, you are writing your CSS inside the opening tag of your element, and for you to do that, you say style, then you now pick any of the property you want to use. So you want to use display, you want to use height, you want to use border, you want to use margin, you want to use padding, you want to use position. Let me first comment this one out. Let's comment this out so that you not affect it. So now I want to apply. Let me open it on the browser for you to see first before I apply any style to it. Alright, so this is our normal form. So now I want to apply a style to the div, which is the one that carries all the other elements. So I want to say align items, center. This align items now center. Now look at what will happen to all the. Well, let me apply another style to it. Test, align, and yeah, you are seeing that all the tests now are now shifted to this other side. Are you seeing it? Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah. I can hear you.
All right.
Yes.
All right. So all the tests now have shifted to this other side. Abi, let's say center. Now the tests now have shifted to the center. Are you seeing it? So what I just what I just did was that I applied the style only to the words, to the HTML element. So this is inline styling. That is, you are writing your styling now inside each element that you want to style. So for example, now maybe I want to style this first registration form. I will say let me use color style. I'll first write style, then I will now say color, which is the property. Then let me say blue. The first one, look at it now. The color have turned to blue. Are you seeing it? So that's what inline styling just all about. That's all about inline styling. You are writing your style inside the opening tag of each HTML element. Do you understand? Then we'll now talk about internal CSS. Internal CSS is when you write your CSS inside the HTML document or the HTML file. Example, like what we did that last week on Monday, we did internal CSS, which is this internal CSS, and we write it inside the head element. Inside the head element, that's where we write our style. Do you understand? Yeah. Everything and all they overlap. Both the one that I style with inline and the one that I style with internal, everything now have overlap each other. So that's for internal and inline styling. Then for external styling is when you write the CSS in another file, then you now link it to your HTML file. Example, let me use this HTML file. This HTML file normally, this is our HTML document. Eh? Did I stop presenting?
I think your screen sharing is what blowing out and stuff with that.
Uh, you are seeing it now, right? Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So this is perfect example of external styling. So this is how I link the this is the CSS, right? This is CSS. Then I link it to this HTML using this. So if you want to link your HTML, your CSS now, what you just have to do is come here, same inside the head element. That's where you are doing the linking. You just say link, then the ref is the style sheet. Then the file that is linking to, that's what you write here. So maybe for instance now you create a folder and put the CSS inside that folder. You will first call the name of the folder before the name of the file. What is happening? Hey, no. Network. Network. Oh.